Hi, I'm Melanie for Yoga Within. Thanks for joining me today for Intermediate Ashtanga. Before we get started, don't forget if you're watching on YouTube, subscribe to our channel. So it is a fast practice, not a great class for beginners. Make sure if you have any issues, you've checked with your doctor before you start. And we go through as much of the primary series as we can, but of course we leave out some postures. While traditionally, Ashtanga is not practiced with props. I do encourage you to use props if it'll benefit you and your body. So remember, the practice is yours. Pay attention to what you need, and let's get started. So find your way up to the very front of your mat into a Samasthiti position. Take a moment, sealing your hands at heart center, and just begin to find your Ujjayi breath. Surya Namaskar A, inhale. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, step back, lower through Chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, downward dog. Remember, you are given the gift of 5 breaths or more or less just to check in with your body, check in with yourself, noticing how you're feeling today, and trying to listen to how you're feeling, taking your cues from you, not from me. Practicing non-harming and kindness. Inhale, bring your gaze and your feet to your hands in that half fold. Exhale, fully fold. Inhale, come all the way up. Exhale, Samasthiti. 2 more times. Inhale, arms and gaze. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, step back. Remember, knees can come down if you need. Chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, downward dog. Long, full breaths. Remembering that the breath is really one of the most important parts of the practice. The breath gives the mind a place of focus. It's not necessary to force the breath, just being mindful of the breath. When we're aware of our breath, we start to listen to the story it's telling us. Inhale, gaze and feet to hands. Exhale, fold. Inhale, come all the way up. Exhale, Samasthiti. Last time, inhale, arms and gaze. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, step back. Lower through Chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, downward dog. At any time you need to take a pause, come into child's pose. If you're feeling dizzy at all or there's any blood pressure issues, stack your fists, rest your head on your fists. Keep the breath. The breath creates a heat within the body that you're in control of. But when we stop the Ujjayi breath, our body tends to cool down. Remember, explore your downward dog. If your back and hamstrings are bothering you, move your legs farther apart. Soften or bend the knees. Inhale, gaze and feet to hands. Exhale, fold the body. Inhale, come all the way up. Exhale, Samasthiti. Surya Namaskar B, bend the knees. If back and hamstrings bother you, feet farther apart. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, step back, lower through Chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, downward dog. Left foot pivots, right foot comes forward. Try to keep the weight even on both feet. Exhale, coming back down. Knees can go down. Chaturanga. Upward dog. Downward dog. Right foot pivots, left comes forward. Squaring the hips as much as you can. Exhaling, coming back down. Keep the strength in the neck. Don't hang the head. Chaturanga. Upward dog, thighs up or down. Exhale, downward dog. Long, full, deep breaths. If your shoulders are bothering you, move your hands wider apart. Get those hips moving up and back. Thinking gentle Mula Bandha, gentle Uddiyana Bandha. Eyes are open through the practice. Follow the rhythm of your breath. Inhale, gaze and feet to hands. Exhale, fold. Bend the knees. Inhale. Exhale. 2 more times. Knees bend, inhale. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, step back, lower through chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, downward dog. Left pivots right forward. Inhale, come up. Exhale, come back down. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, downward dog. Right pivots. Inhale, come up. Exhale, coming back down. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, downward dog. Long, full, deep breaths. The eyes are open. The breath is present. Hopefully by now you have a sense of how you're feeling. Pay attention to that as you move through the practice. Inhale, gaze and feet to hands. Exhale, fold. Knees bend. Inhale. Exhale. Knees bend. Inhale. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, step back, lower through. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, downward dog. Left pivots, right comes forward. Keep the weight even on the feet as you come up. Exhale, come back down. Try not to hang the head. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, downward dog. Right pivots, left forward. Inhale, get those hips pointing straight ahead. Exhale, breathing. Inhale, open the front body. Exhale. Pause if you need to pause in child pose, remembering the importance of the breath. Explore your downward dog. If you do the same thing all the time, you get the same results. You create the same habits, both physically and mentally. Inhale, gaze and feet to hands. Exhale, fold the body. Bend the knees. Inhale. Exhale. Last time. Knees bend, inhale. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, step back, lower through. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, downward dog. Left pivots. Inhale, come up. Exhale, come down. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, downward dog. Right pivots. Breathing in. Lift the arches of your feet. Breathing out. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, downward dog. Long, full breaths. Shoulders moving apart. Weight even on both hands, both feet. Think about your foundation. Adjust the structure, which is you, from the foundation up. Inhale, gaze and feet to hands. Exhale, fold the body. Knees bend. Inhale, arms and gaze. Exhale, Samasthiti. Padangusthasana, move the feet apart. Grab the big toes. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, elbows out, body folds. If back and hamstrings bother you, legs farther apart. Elbows bend, opening the upper back. Breath is present. Try to keep the weight even on the feet. Inhale, straighten the arms, lengthen the spine. Exhale, Padahastasana, slide your hands under your feet. Bend the elbows, fold the body. A retraction, a bending of the knees, and then a straightening. What is straight for you can help you set your foundation, which is your feet, establishing how far apart do you need them today. Neck is free, elbows are bending. Straighten the arms, inhale. Exhale, hands to hips. Inhale, come up. Exhale, Samasthiti. Utthita Trikonasana, step out wide to the right, turn the right foot, extend the left, go into the pose. If you need the blocks, use the blocks. If your shoulder hurts, put the hand on the hip. Connect top and bottom half right there at the core. Don't let the head hang. Build the strength in the neck. Front leg is strong without being locked. Inhale, come up. Exhale, same thing, other side. Remember, Trikonasana, you're lengthening both top and bottom half of the body equally. Drishti is your gaze. It's up, straight ahead, or down to the big toe. Being mindful that the leg's not locked, that the breath is present. It's telling you your story. Inhale, come up. Exhale, Parivrita is the rotation. Left hand to the outside of the right. Again, use the props. If it feels better to have the hand on the inside, put it there. Right hand on the hip, on the low back, out to the side, or perhaps all the way up. Gaze down, sideways, or up. Inhale, come up. Exhale, same thing, other side. The beauty of Ashtanga is we do it on one side, we do it on the other side, and we develop an awareness from practice to practice, the differences in our sides. Breathing, keep the weight even on the feet. Inhale, come up. Exhale, reset, Samasthiti. Uttita Parasvaskanasana, wider to the right, bend the knee. You can rest the elbow on the thigh, bring the arm over. You can place the hands on the floor. Gaze down, sideways or up. Remember, don't just hang out in your flexibility. Find your strength. Breath is present. Come all the way up, same thing, other side. A straight line of energy from that right heel all the way up through the fingertips. Neck is long, breathing. Know why you're doing what you're doing. Don't do it because I'm suggesting it. Do it because it's a benefit for you. If there's pain, it's an indication that you need to adjust what you're doing. Inhale, come up. Exhale, Parivrtta, rotate. So the hips are pointing forward. The left elbow goes to the outside of the right knee. Palms meet together. Some of you may need to lift that back heel if that's what you need. Allow it. If the hip's swinging forward, potential for hurting the low back is present. So try to square up those hips. Inhale, come up. Exhale, other side. Set the foundation, which is the feet. Move into the twist. Remember, the postures, it said, are presented in order to open the body. So these twists prepare you for the seated twists. Gaze down, sideways or up. Palms pressed together to open the upper back. Pay attention to your breath. One more breath in. One more breath out. Inhale, come up. Exhale, Samasthiti. Prasarita Padottanasana A, step wide to the right, hands to the hips, look up. Exhale, fold forward, hands to the floor. Good. Walk the hands back, bend the elbows to right angles. Unlock your legs. So a bending and a straightening will help set your foundation, which is your feet. Lift the arches of your feet, unclench your teeth, unclench your toes, and let your neck be free. Inhale, straighten the arms, lengthen the spine. Exhale, hands to hips. Inhale, come up. Exhale, release the arms. Arms up, breathe in. Hands to the hips, breathe out. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold, head to floor. Remember, if you're feeling dizzy at all, halfway is a perfect option for you. If the head goes to the floor, shorten your stance. Bring the legs closer together. Move the shoulders apart. Keep the neck long. Keep the eyes open. An inhalation brings you all the way up. Exhale, release the arms. Arms lift, inhale. Chest expander, exhale. Inhale, lift arms and gaze. Exhale, fold, head to floor, arms to floor. A great variation is to use a strap if you need to gain more movement in the shoulders. If halfway is enough, halfway is what you do. Remember, it's called chest expander because we are opening our chest. As you come up, don't let the head be the first thing. Use the legs. Inhale, come up. Exhale, hands to hips. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, fold forward, grab the toes with pointer and middle fingers. Inhale, lift the hips. As you exhale, bend the elbows, fold the body. Touch the thumb to those two fingertips. A retraction, a bending of the knees, and a straightening will help you set the foundation. Remember, these are 4 different variations of the postures, so your feet may need to adjust. Allow it. Inhale, straighten the arms, lengthen the spine. Exhale, hands to hips. Inhale, come up. Exhale, back to the front of the mat, Samastiti. Bring the hands behind the back, palm to palm, or hold the elbows. Take the right foot, step it all the way around, turn the left foot slightly forward. Body folds halfway, readjust your foundation, draw that front hip back, a micro bend in the front knee, the hips go up and back just as they would in downward dog. The neck is long. The fingertips slide up to where the hair and the neckline meet. Unclench your teeth and your toes. Think Mula Bandha, Uddiyana Bandha. Inhale, bring yourself up. Exhale, same thing, other side. So turn the feet. Set the foundation. Body folds halfway or all the way forward. Imagine holding a block between the inner upper thighs. Do the work from the legs. Any of you thrusting your chins, because I know some of you are, let your head drop. The eyes are open, palms pressed towards each other. Shoulders draw down, no strain in the neck. Inhale, come up. Exhale, step to the front of the mat into Samastiti. That was your prep for balance. You're moving into balance. Weight goes to the left. Lift the right foot, hold the knee, hold the back of the thigh, hold the foot. Use the walls or the straps if you need. Breath is present. This left hand can be on the palm or on the thigh or on the hip. Neck is long. Use the power of the drishti, your pointed gaze. Use both feet. Now inhale, bring yourself up. Move the hip in the socket. Take the leg out. Drop the shoulders. Breath is strong. Drishti might go the opposite way if it's a day for that. Maybe you need to change the arm. Notice your hips. Are they relatively even where you're building both strength and flexibility? Keep your breath. Don't hang out in your flexibility. The risk of injury becomes so much greater. Bring it back to the center as you breathe in. Fold the body forward on an exhale. Come all the way up, extend the leg, place the hands on the hips and point the toes. If you're leaning back, you're using your back, use the core of the body. So a retraction and a straightening will get you out of your mind that might be saying, I can't, but I know you can. It's good. Flex the foot, release it, take a breath, walk it out. Come to the other side. Weight to the right, lifting the left. Hold what you need to hold. Challenge yourself without hurting yourself. Let go of your attachment of what you think it should look like and try to work from within, from the inside out. What does it feel like? How are you strengthening your body? How are you strengthening your mind? Follow the rhythm of your breath. Your inhalation brings you up, and exhale takes you open. Visualize the shoulders, visualize your body. Rise up from the arch of the foundation, which is your foot. Your head can turn, but let your neck be strong. Let your breath tell you your story. Come back to the center on a breath in. Fold forward as you exhale. Inhale, come up. Exhale, extend the leg, point the toes, drop the shoulders. If you're hiking the hip, become aware of that. Try not to judge yourself, just noticing and accepting for what it is. When we start to notice, we can begin to create change. Release, flex, walk it out. Weight goes to the left foot. Right foot comes into half lotus. Reach around behind the back, grab the foot with the right hand and fold. Options being ankle on knee, sitting in that chair position. Neck hangs freely. Unclench teeth and toes. Lift the hips. Now inhale, come partially up. Exhale. Inhale, come all the way up. Exhale, release. Walk it out. Switch sides. Weight to the right. Left foot comes up. Half lotus. Reach around, grab. Remember your options. Know why you do what you do. What is this posture here to teach you? If you are in half lotus and time the knees are together, the heel presses just below the navel, the neck relaxes. Anything on the ground is part of your foundation, which might include your hand. Inhale, come up, pause, exhale. Inhale, come all the way up. Exhale, release, Samastiti. Inhale, arms and gaze. Exhale, fold the body forward. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, step back, lower through chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, downward dog. Inhale, look forward, bring the feet to the hands. Exhale, bend the knees. Inhale, Utkatasana, chair pose, arms engaged, shoulders draw lightly down the back. Breathing, if shoulders are hurting, open the hands, lower the arms. Send those hips back. Keep that connection of top and bottom half of the body at the core. If back and hamstrings hurt, move the legs farther apart. Understand why you're doing what you're doing. Use the power of the drishti. Inhale, exhale, fold. Inhale, lift the hips, lengthen the spine. Exhale, step back, lower through chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, downward dog. Virabhadrasana A. Left foot pivots, right foot comes forward. You've done this before. Now you're given the gift of the breaths to find the alignment that works for you today. Neck is long, shoulders softly draw down, weight even on the feet, drawing front hip back, back thigh forward, finding that stability through the midline of the body. Groin drops, pelvic floor lifts. Unclench your toes, unclench your teeth. Inhale, straighten the right leg. Exhale, turn your feet. Same thing, other side. Set the foundation. Go up the structure to the hips. If you're feeling it in your back, pick your feet up, adjust them. Drop the shoulders. Connect top and bottom half at the core. Know why you're doing what you're doing with your arms. Is it providing you strength, stability through the shoulders, which prepares you for the things coming next? Open the arms parallel to the floor. Adjust your feet, knee above ankle. Gaze to the hand above the bent knee. Spine is straight if you're lunging or leaning. Perhaps you need to widen your stance. If you feel the back, perhaps you're sticking your bottom out. The head turns as long as there's strength in the neck. Straighten that leg, turn your feet, turn your gaze. Are the arms the same height? Understand why you're doing what you're doing. Back leg is strong, but not locked, not hyperextended. Hear the story your breath is sharing with you. Transitioning through to chaturanga. Without hanging that head, keep the strength in the neck. Upward dog, open the body. Exhale, downward dog. Coming to the seated portion, move into Dandasana. Use the blocks if you need them to lift the hips, tilt the pelvis. Sternum lifts, chin drops, shoulders move apart and open, finding that stability. The foundation is no longer your feet, but use the feet. You can always walk the glutes out a bit. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, Paschimottanasana. Grab the big toes with the peace fingers, touch the thumbs to them and fold. If it's back and hamstrings, bend the knees, walk the hips back. This is a forward fold, remember. Lengthen the entire back side of your body. The eyeballs roll towards the big toes. There's a slight micro bend in the knees. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Change the hand grip or repeat the same. Bend the elbows. If you're thrusting through your chin, keep that natural curve of your neck. Know why you're doing what you're doing. Keep the breath. If this is your posture with the knees bent, that is perfect as well. Drop the shoulders, neck is long. Inhale, bring yourself up. Exhale, release. If you're doing a vinyasa, move through the vinyasa. Otherwise, spark and move to Parsvattanasana, which is crab pose or inclined plane. Use your breath. Don't drop that head back if the hips aren't lifting. Option being knees bent, heels below the knees. Pay attention to your breath. Know why you're doing what you're doing. Lower down. Spark, build that core strength. Vinyasa, if you're doing your vinyasas, again, don't do them if they're causing you pain in your body. The idea is to heal yourself. Left leg is straight. Right foot comes into half lotus. Reach behind, grab the foot, fold the body. Use a strap on the foot if that's better for you. If you get a deeper forward fold by bending that left knee, I suggest that's what you do. Try to keep the weight even on everything connected to the floor, so don't shift all your weight to that left hamstring. Keep your breath. Inhale, come up. Exhale, release. The left leg is straight, draw it in, spark. You're welcome to vinyasa. It is your practice. Left foot in half lotus. Reach around with the left hand, grab the toe, fold forward. Think about your shoulders being as even as you can, so make the adjustments you need. In time, the knees might be together, the heel might be just below the navel. Think about, what is this posture trying to teach me? Think about letting go of the idea that you have of what it should look like. Remember, what does it feel like? As you inhale, come up. It should be as much work as going forward. Exhale, release. Do the full vinyasa if you're doing them. Otherwise, spark and move to the next position. Keep your breath. Left leg straight. Right foot goes back. Roll the calf out if you can. Get the weight even. You might need a little blanket under that left glute to try to stabilize the hips. Shoulders drop. You can hold the foot, hands to floor. You can reach beyond. Remember, if you get a deeper stretch by bending the knee, bend the knee. The idea, remember, is to build strength and flexibility. We tend to strive for flexibility, but then the risk of injury is not good, or is good, if you don't create balance. Come up as you breathe in. Exhale, release, spark. And switch to the other side. Roll the calf out. Tweaks or twinges in the body is your body's way of saying, no, we need to do something else. If a little blanket isn't enough, sit on a block. Press that right big toe mound away. Draw the right hip back. Open the shoulders. Weight, is it even on both glutes, or as even as you can get it? Keep your breath. Inhale, come up, drawing the shoulders down. Exhale, release. Move through the vinyasa if that's in your practice. Keep the neck strong. Send the hips up and back. Moving to Jana Shashasana A. Left leg straight, right foot in. Body folds. Again, a forward fold. So you might need that block to lift the hip to tilt the pelvis. All of the Jana Shashasanas are slight twists. Shoulders drop, left toe mound presses forward, left hip draws back. Eyeballs without the whole neck roll towards the big toes. Inhale, lengthen the spine, draw the shoulders down. Exhale, release, spark, and switch sides. That left foot sole can press into the inner thigh, or you can start to roll the top of the foot up. Right big toe mound forward, right hip back. Shoulders are even, neck is long, breath is present. How do you use your arms? How do they relate? Where you grip your leg relates to the shoulders. Use your breathing. Do the work. Inhale, lengthen, shoulders down. Exhale, release. Vinyasa if you like. Keep the body strong. Keep the breath present. No need to force it, but keep it present. Left leg straight, drawing the right heel underneath you. That right knee is open about 85 degrees. So as the knee opens, you draw the left hip back. Body folds. Ask yourself, is the weight even on everything on the ground, including if you have both hands on the ground? Is it even? Is this healing your body, Or are you just practicing with ego and hurting your body? Keep your breath. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, release. Spark. And switch sides. Right is straight. Left comes underneath. Open that left knee. Draw the right hip back. A slight micro bend in the knee. Breath is present. Know why you're doing what you're doing. As always, I tell you that. Remember, because we strive to get somewhere, and then someone says, oh, well, that's great. Now try this. So there's no destination. Think about the journey. Try to appreciate the journey. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, release. Do the vinyasas if you're doing them, but know why you're doing them. Does it reset your body? Does it make it stronger? As you come down, left leg is straight, moving into C. Those right toes curl back. Get the toes curled under, lift the hips, knee comes down, body folds. So heel goes into that area just below the navel. If that's not possible, put the ankle on the knee, curl the toes back. Tweaks or twinges in your knees are your body's way of saying, pay attention, or I'm going to send you an injury, so you do listen. You may find, because it's a forward fold, sitting up on a block or a blanket allows you to get the lift in the hips to tilt the pelvis forward. Open the shoulders. Keep some freedom in the neck. You want the neck to be strong, not compressed, not strained. Inhale, come up. Exhale, release, spark, and switch sides. Those left toes curl under, or modify if you need to. And you may find that one side requires a modification and the other side doesn't. We have issues in our tissues and they don't always represent themselves in the same way on each side of our body. So pay attention to what your body is telling you. Remember, listen to the story of your breath. Use the power of the drishti, and that doesn't mean compressing the neck. You can roll the eyeballs to the toe and keep the neck in line with the spine. Inhale, come up. Exhale, release. Vinyasa, if you're doing the vinyasas, keep your breath. As you come down, you're moving to Marichiyasana A. The left leg is straight, the right knee bends. You're bringing your right arm around your right leg, the hand behind the back. The wrapping hand, so the right hand grabs the left. If you're in a twist, you want to try to square the body up so the hips are pointing straight ahead. The weight is as even on everything as you can get it. The body folds, so it is a forward fold. If you need to bend the knee or sit on something, sit on it. Use the straps, but don't have a death grip on the straps. Walk the hands together, move the shoulders apart. Keep your breathing. You inhale, come up, pause. Exhale, spark, and move to the other side. Right leg straight, left knee bends, left arm around the left leg. So you may need to wiggle that left foot out and even turn the foot out slightly. Left grabs the right, right shoulder draws forward, right hip draws back. Right big toe mound presses forward. The weight is even on everything on the ground. So while your glutes might not be even, that left foot's on the floor, so even out by using the foot. If all the weight's on that right hamstring and you have an injury when you're done, that might be why. Inhale, come up. Exhale, release. Move through the vinyasa or the spark. Keep the breath present. Keep the mind following the breath. The whole practice becomes like a moving meditation. Left foot comes in half lotus. Right foot goes to the floor. Right arm around right leg. Left behind the back. Head to ground. If the foot is not in half lotus, put the left leg on the ground and the right foot in front. Know what your body needs. Now, obviously, the right hip or the right glute is not on the floor, but the right foot is. So how can you even out the weight on everything on the ground? If the head's on the floor, you may have a slight Jalandhara and Bandha engaged. Inhale, come up. Exhale, spark, and switch sides. Right foot half lotus, left foot on the floor, Left arm around left leg, right hand behind the back, head to ground. Option being right leg behind left. Keep your breathing. Keep the eyes open. Do the work across the upper back to stabilize the shoulders and open them. Jalandhara Bandha, that gentle chin lock might be engaged to lengthen the neck. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, release. Vinyasa if you like. Breath is present. Body is strong. As you come down, Marichyasana, see left leg straight, right knee bent. Left arm around right leg, twisting to the right. Use your straps. If you're leaning back, readjust that right foot. The arm could go under the leg if you're not able to get the arm in front. Know why you do what you do. These twists are meant to be beneficial to the body, not to cause you the most strain that you can. You do want the weight even on both glutes so you have stability through the hips. Neck can turn, but keep the neck strong. Come back to the center as you breathe in, spark, build that core strength, and switch sides. Right leg straight, left knee bends. Opposite arm, right to left. Arm might go in front of the leg. You bring the arm around and clasp the hands. Don't do something because I'm telling you. Do it because it's beneficial to you and your body. Keep the breath. Keep the action on both feet. Keep the chin parallel to the floor. Look out of the corners of your eyes. Back to the center. Go through the vinyasas if that's what you're doing. Keep your breath. As you come into D, left foot is at half lotus, right foot's on the floor. It is a twist. Left arm to right leg, right hand behind the back. If you're able to bring the arm around, bring it around. If you can't do half lotus, modification is the same as B. Foot on the floor, behind, left foot on the floor behind the right. You are twisting right. Keep the breath present. Know why you're doing what you're doing. The weight will not be even on both glutes, but keep it even on what is on the ground. Come back to the center, spark. The spark helps take care of the back as well. Then right foot in half lotus, left to the floor. You're twisting left. Use your breathing. Readjust your foundation, whatever's on the ground. Build strength in the neck. Know why you're turning your head as you do. Keep breathing. Come back to the center. Move through the vinyasa if you're preparing for Navasana, bow pose. You can sit on a little blanket if your tailbone bothers you. Try not to sit on the blocks. Use your breathing. Lengthen the body. Draw the shoulders down. Use the power of the drishti. Eyeballs roll up, but not at the expense of neck compression. Your foundation has changed again. Keep it strong. Cross spark. Back up. Breathing, breathing. Cross spark. Cross the opposite way if you can. Last time, keep the breath. Remember, if your boat's sinking, rise it up. Stop thrusting your chin forward. I'm watching you, you know. Use your breath. Whoa, my boat almost fell into the water. Keep breathing. Good. Vinyasa if you like. If not, perhaps go to downward dog. You're moving to Bhujapidasana, so the feet come around the arms, bend the knees, bend the elbows. You can stay here. Some of you may be able to bring the legs in, cross the ankles, and lift the feet off the floor. Remember, it is your story. As you come down, you can move through vinyasa, or you can plop and drop like I just did. Moving into Karmasana, bend the knees, bring the arms to the insides of the legs. This might be enough. Some of you can bring the arms back, palms to the floor. Thinking about bringing the knees up on top of the shoulders, you may be able to get the legs straight. Let the legs roll inwards towards your shoulders. Coming into Supta Karmasana, bend the knees, bring the arms around mid-back, clasp the hands, cross the ankles, drop your head. Breathe here. Inhale, come up, release, This is a good time to do a vinyasa if you can, because it does help reset the body, bringing it back to neutral. If not, at least make sure you spark. As you come down, coming to Garbhakandasana, where we're rolling 5 times around clockwise. You can do it ankles crossed, half lotus, full lotus, whatever works. If you can get your arms through your legs and clasp your chin, do that. Otherwise, hold the knees or clasp the hands. Chin tips slightly down. You're breathing, massaging the spine. When you get back to the front, bring yourself up, and you can come up to Kukuttanasana or Utthitihi. Keep your breathing. Lowering down, you can move through the vinyasa if you like, or move into Baddha Konasana. Sliding the heels in, rolling the foot soles open, elbows across this or in close to the side body, folding the body. There are 2 variations. We'll do one today. So you can do the long flat back variation, or if you prefer tucking and rounding. What would be beneficial for you? Rolling the feet open to create movement in the tops of the feet, the ankles, through the hips. Stay connected to the ground. Your next inhalation brings you up. Exhale, Upavishta Konasana, extend the legs. Again, a block or a blanket can help lift the hips to tilt the pelvis. You can stay hands on shins, hands on floor, or peace fingers around the big toes, elbows bent, body fold. Know what is the most benefit to you. If there's no weight on your glutes, you are striving for an injury. So find that strength. Find yourself rooted and connected. Unlock your knees. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, release. Spark. You are welcome to do a vinyasa if you do the vinyasas. Otherwise, you bring your legs up, drop the shoulders, lift the gaze. You can support the backs of the thighs if that's better for you. Remember, it's like Navasana. If you're leaning back, the weight is probably in the back of the tailbone, and the risk of injury is present. Neck is long, eyeballs rolled up. Use your feet. Release, spark, or vinyasa. You're coming onto your back with nothing under your head. As you come down, you roll back, and you bring your leg to the floor over your head. Now, if your hips are above your shoulders, you can grab your feet. Hopefully your props aren't in the way like mine are. Keep breathing. If your sternum and your chin touch, move the chin slightly away, lift the hips higher. You want space for 1 or 2 fingers between the floor and the neck. Breathing here. If you know how to come up that way. Otherwise, bring the legs together, bend the knees, roll up, open the legs, and fold forward for 2 breaths. Inhale, come up. Exhale, release. Do your vinyasa or lie on your back. Once you get on your back, if you do need something under the head, by all means, use something under the head. Coming into Supta Padangusthasana. Left leg is straight. Right leg comes up, body comes up, shoulders drop, hip drops. Use your breath, chin drops down to the chest. Breathing. Try to let that hip drop down. Lower the torso down. Take the leg out to the side. Take the gaze the opposite direction. If it's a day that your neck can manage that. Think about everything on the ground. So is the weight even on the hips, on the shoulders, on the back of the head? Your next inhalation brings the leg up. You drop the hip, exhale, lift the torso up off the floor. Inhale, torso down. Exhale, release the leg. Other leg comes up. Use the straps if you need to. Coming all the way up. This other hand palm can be on the thigh or it can be on the floor. Where do you need it for the greatest strength, the greatest support? It's part of your foundation. Torso comes down, hip moves into the socket. Leg goes out to the side, drishti goes the other way. This other hip, if it's lifting, you know you are not connected top and bottom half, so drop the hip down. Know why you do what you do. Build both your strength and your flexibility. Bring the leg back to the center. Lift the torso, drop the hip. Torso comes down, leg comes down, knees come into the chest, come up, vinyasa if you like. Keep your breathing. If you're not doing your vinyasa, you bring your knees into the chest, you drop the toes towards the floor over the head, and you bring yourself all the way up to a seated position. There are 2 variations of this. We will just do one, so you choose. You can hold your feet, you can lean back, or you can fold yourself in half. What would be most beneficial for you today? The eyes are open, the breath is present. Good, inhale, lengthen. Exhale, release. Vinyasa if you're doing. Otherwise, we're coming onto our backs. We're leaving Setu Bandhasana out if you do it, and we'll come into Urdhva Dhanurasana or the hip lift. You choose. You don't have to do the same variation each time. You have nothing under your head. Set your foundation, what is on the ground, and come up. If the chin and chest touch, move the chin lightly away to create space between the floor and the neck. There's no compression in the neck. Squeeze your shoulder blades. If your knees are bent, the heels below the knees helps prevent strain in the knees or the hamstrings. Adjust your feet closer together or farther apart depending on how your back feels. Lower down, pause, bring the thighs into the chest, check in. Are you practicing non-harming? If you can repeat it again, place the feet on the floor. If you prefer going into full wheel, then by all means go into the full wheel. Know why you're doing what you're doing. Don't do it because I'm suggesting it. Bring yourself down as you're ready. Pause, bring thighs into the chest. From there, you can rock up into a vinyasa or spark and move into Paschimottanasana, the forward fold, to release the back bend. Don't be afraid to reach back, adjust the glutes. Remember, a little bit of wiggling can show you where you need to be. Unlock the legs, take the strain out of the neck. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, release. Move through the vinyasa if you're doing, and then you're coming into Sarvangasana, the shoulder stand. If you have any neck or shoulder problems or eye problems or ear problems, perhaps you want to do legs up the wall today. Know what's right for you. You want nothing under the head. You can have a blanket under the shoulders. Hips lift. Hands can be in the low back, on the ground, in chest expander. Sternum moves to chin. If they touch, chin moves away, creating space between the floor and the neck. Breath is present. Pay attention. It's so important. Slowly, the toes come towards the floor over the head. You may find that bending the knees, lifting the hips, and then straightening the legs is more beneficial. Tops of the feet come to the floor. Chin moves away from the chest. Where do you need your hands for support? It is so important to pay attention to your breath and not to turn your head from side to side. If this is hurting, why are you doing it? You should change. Let the knees bend down on either side of the ears. Keep the hips lifting. Keep the breath present. Open the mind. Come back up to half shoulder stand. Go into Padmasana, which is lotus. If you can't do Padmasana, cross-legged, you can keep the hands in the back or release the hands to the knees. Again, keep that natural curve in the neck. Don't go into compression. Use the strength of the body. Connect top and bottom half. Breathe, breathe. Be mindful, if this is causing you pain in the neck, why are you doing it? You need to come out. Knees drop down, hands in the low back, or perhaps you know where they should go, then let them go there. Now transitioning onto your back into Matsyasana, which is fish pose. In Ashtanga, it's done in lotus. If you prefer the hatha variation with straight legs, do that. You lower the legs down. You lift up. All the weight should not be in the head. Use the power of the legs for back bend. Use your breathing. If this is causing you strain in the neck and you're not breathing or it's hurting, again, why are you doing it? Back bends come from strong legs, opening the front body. Perhaps you go into the extension and perhaps you don't. And if you do and it hurts, again, question your decisions. Lower down, bring the knees to the chest, pause, check in. Are you practicing non-harming? You can roll up, move through a vinyasa, or leave the vinyasa out. Give yourself that spark to build the core strength. From here, you're coming to Shirshasana, headstand. But no, this is not a time to learn the headstand. If you don't know it, downward dog or dolphin pose are inversions. Keep your breath, or perhaps even the tripod. Keep the shoulders open. Know why you're doing what you're doing. When you come out of these inversions, it's very important to know that you should stay down in child's pose for a couple of breaths. If you need to stack the head on the fists, stack the head on the fists. As you come out, you move through one last vinyasa if you're doing them. Otherwise, leave it out. And you come into the last three closing postures where you sit lotus, half lotus, cross-legged. Technically, it's right leg, then left. You'd reach behind and hold your feet. If that doesn't happen, bring your hands behind your back, hold your elbows or your wrists, draw the arms down, tuck the chin, squeeze the air out of the lower abdominals and drop the head down. The chin lock is slightly engaged if possible. Again, the eyes are open and you're rekindling that internal flame. You bring yourself back up to a seated position, extend the arms, thumb and index finger touch, other 6 fingers extended, chin drops down, lengthening the neck. The drishti is down the tip of the nose, the spine, the low back has its natural curve, lengthening the neck. Use the feet, particularly if you're in lotus, you're flexing the feet, drawing the knees towards each other. The eyes are open and the breath is strong. You lift the gaze up, place the hands down. You lift to Uplutihi without locking the arms, without hanging the head. Perhaps you lower down and you come back up. Maybe you take 108 breaths and maybe you don't. Lower yourself down, release the legs, move through your final vinyasa if you are doing the vinyasas. Otherwise, you can lie yourself directly on your mat and prepare for Shavasana. So if you need any last movements, take time for those. Otherwise, take a deep breath in, open your mouth and loudly exhale. Just let the Ujjayi breath be surrendered. The practice is like a life cycle. It starts with an inhale, it ends with an exhale. You find your way back to that normal pattern of breath. Try to lie in gratitude to yourself and your body for what it's done for you and for what you've done for it. So important to take time for yourself every day. I encourage you to stay in Shavasana for a bit longer. Enjoy this time. Thank you so much for sharing your time and your practice with me today. Namaste. Remember, if you are following us on YouTube, subscribe to our channel. We look forward to seeing you next time.